Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 here with another retro review. This time we're going to be looking at the classics Dinobot. I think this was Thrilling 30. Was a Thrilling 30 figure. I very much like the look of the Dino mode. He does sort of have a derpy face and mouth, but most of the sculpting and the details I really do enjoy. Especially these raptor claws. I do love that they gave him those sickle raptor claws. But yeah, nice little figure. I did get this off of eBay secondhand, but he does have all his components. Fortunately, he did not come with his instructions, so a little bit of a bummer there, but it is what it is, you know. Even getting a complete figure secondhand is, you know, kind of a miracle sometimes. But yeah, very nice figure. Got some nice little white for the eyes there. He does have his derpy teeth painted. And again, I really do love this sickle claw that they did. Another thing I really like is how they sort of made the tail and sort of like sculpted it as if it were moving, if it was flowing. I really do like that look. Given it does sort of mess with his sort of spinning shield accessory that, you know, becomes his tail. But I think as far as how it comes off in the Dino mode is just beautiful. So I really do like that. Got some stripage down his back. Oh, I almost forgot to flip this away. But, oop, wrong way. But I do love that he has this rotating panel for his faction symbol on his head. That's cool. Obviously, in Raptor mode, it's supposed to be this just sort of skin textured side. But, you know, that's a nice little gimmick. I have to say the weakest part is probably his thighs. I mean, you can obviously just see his robot legs just sort of hanging out there. And as is typical with Dinobot, you can sort of see robot parts on the underside. But that's just sort of a thing that happens with most beast formers. You know, they're either going to be paneled to hell and back, or you're going to have some robot kibble. It's just the way it is. But overall, I definitely approve of this figure. He looks very good. To get some comparisons in, here he is with the Kingdom Dinobot. So yeah, very nice comparison there. And again, like, I do think the tail just looks so much better. I mean, he also has this little pink missile tip sticking out, but that flowing tail just looks amazing. But again, it's, you know, hinders the robot mode version of it, whereas this one is very, you know, sturdy in robot mode. But give and take, give and take. But I'm not gonna dwell on that too much. I will be doing a past and present on these guys if I can get the original Dinobot mold from Beast Wars, which I think it should be easy to track one down on eBay, so I'm hoping to do that in the future. But I just wanted to get a little quick comparison between these guys. And just to make sure we get another dinosaur in there, here he is with the Kingdom Megatron. So yeah. But yeah, very interesting comparison here. Enemies in both war and nature. But yeah, really dig this guy. As far as articulation goes, he does have a hinge at the knee here. His feet are on ball joints, so you do get plenty of movement there. His dino arms are just little rubbery pieces on rotation. His mouth does open and close, and you do get some movement in the thighs, though. There are some bits in the way, but they are on ball joints, so you do get good motion where they're not restricted. But yeah, that's about it for the dino articulation. But I think we should just go ahead and cut to the chase and get this bad boy transformed. So we're going to come back here and just grip his tail and wiggle it back, and it'll come right off. It's just pegged here and here into these two slots. We'll just put that off to the side. We can now bring these legs down and straighten them out. Bring this panel and untab it. It tabs into the thigh right here. And we're going to bring it down, but we need to come in here and rotate these bits out. And they can be a little hard to get out. They kind of like to get snug in there together. But they are rubbery plastic, though I do worry about chipping the flaking off the paint for the sort of bony pieces there, you can see, just because it's a little hard to get them out. Actually, I'm going to borrow the other dinobot's tail here and just sort of wiggle these out. There we go. Yeah, sometimes they get a little snug on each other. But yeah, once we get those out, we're going to rotate this back behind it. We're going to flip down this piece and rotate it, and that will be his foot. We're going to rotate that around again, like so. And this hinge assembly here is going to slot into this groove in the back of the calf. Like, let's get this other one out of the way. Like so. And then you can just close these around the shin. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Make sure we get those out. I'm still not sure whether I want to display this guy in robot or dino mode. Probably dino mode, just because I think it looks a lot more coherent, especially with how the tail works in dino mode. But oop, I already rotated that around. Silly me. But he does look good. Oh no, we don't want to do that yet. Okay, so now we want to bring out his arms like so, and then we're gonna move his dino arms around to the back and fold these pieces down to the side like so. Let me get that tail out of here. Then we're going to bring this out, this out. Then we're going to take his whole head and fold it down like so. That exposes his robot head. Then coming back to this little panel here, you can rotate it to either show a maximal or come on, a Predacon symbol. Since we know him as an honorable maximal, that's what we're going to do here. Yeah, okay, and then you just want to orient the arms. Fold these panels back up. Orient the arm. And then you just want to bring these hip pieces together like so. And I'll sort of close around his head a little bit, giving his chest a little bit more coherent. Yeah, I do think his robot mode is the weaker of the two, but there we have him in his robot mode. And before we do anything else, there is the fact that he has these robot fists for holding his weapons, but if you so choose, you can pull out on it. It's just on a spring, and you'll want to move these other fingers and then rotate this down and around, and you can give him his more traditional 5-fingered claws that he has in the show. But he unfortunately cannot hold his accessories with those hands. But if that's what you're looking for him to have a little bit more show accuracy, you can in fact do that, which is nice. Speaking of said accessories, we'll go ahead and bring that tail piece back in. What we're going to do is, you can see there's a little round bit here, and you're going to pull those apart like so, and open this up like so. And he does have his missile sword, and it does fire, but this one, oh, it's, oh no, there it goes. Yeah, this one, I don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't tend to hold the missile in. It fires fine, it's just like, you can see I'm not touching the thing here. Yep, see. Yep. Just the slightest little like breeze can cause that to fire off. So like you don't have to put it all the way in and it'll sit there, but yeah, if you click it in, it'll just shoot back out. At least on the one that I got. But again, I'm not planning on using the missile bit, so but yeah, you fold this in and then you have his sort of tail shield thing. The way this fits on his hand, you can see there's a little bit of a nub on this top part, and it just sort of is supposed to slide over his hand like so, but it doesn't really you can't really move it, but it does hold on there pretty well. His arm's a little loose, but yeah. And you can just put the missile into his other hand as his sword, like so. So there is that. And we'll go, well actually before we do that, I should probably talk about his articulation. His shoulders are just on ball joints. They can't do full 360 due to these panels, but they are full of motion. He does have a full elbow bend. I'll take his sword out of his hand because of transformation. Does have bicep swivel. Technically no movement at the wrist, but you do get that joint to switch his hands if you so choose. Oh, it popped off the ball joint. Yeah. No waist rotation due to transformation. Again, the legs are pretty much the same as they were in Dino mode. You got ball joint hips, which are now unrestricted, so you do get plenty of motion there. Ball jointed at both the toe piece and at the heel, so you do get plenty of motion there. Not much bend at the knee because of the components clashing, unfortunately. But yeah, and his head is just on a slight rotation, and it's a pretty tight joint. So, but yeah, there is that. Now we should go ahead and do some size comparisons here. So here he is again with our Kingdom Dinobot. And yeah, honestly, comparing them, the robot mode definitely goes to the Kingdom Dinobot. If you had like a little more paint on the legs for those, you know, bone pieces, it would probably be pretty much perfect. But you know, considering this is a 10-year-old figure, I think he holds up pretty well. And honestly, I do think I prefer his dinosaur, his raptor mode, a bit more, just due to those details and that beautiful sculpting on that tail. Like, that just looks so good. But yeah, honestly, both really cool interpretations of a very interesting character. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting that OG Dinobot and doing a plastic past and present for this character. We'll get him out of the way. And we can't have a video about Dinobots without bringing in the king. So here he is next to our comic edition 86 Grimlock. And yeah, you know, it's a deluxe versus a leader, and you know, it's a, this came out a couple months ago, this came out 10 years ago, but I just want to get you know, a cool shot of them together, because one is Dinobot, one is the king of Dinobots, so we definitely gotta at least bring him up. I mean, he is the king. But that's enough of that. But yeah, overall, super thrilled to have this in my collection. Yeah, he does have some loose joints, but again, this is a secondhand figure. And that missile locking point obviously does not hold like it should. But overall, this is a very nice figure. I am happy to have it in my collection. And yeah, if people want to see more of these retro reviews, I'm definitely down for it. I definitely have been just kind of reviewing figures as I get them. But I do have a lot of older figures, and that's part of the reason I'm doing those plastic past and present videos, because I really like comparing the old versus the new, seeing you know, what's been done better, what was done well originally, things like that. And if you want to see more retro reviews like this, just let me know, because I definitely have plenty of material to go through in that regard. But enough of me rambling and self-plugging shamelessly. That is our review of the Thrilling 30 Classics Dinobot. Is it Classics or Generations? Thrilling 30. But yeah, that's it from me, and this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.